It's that time again! It's the Burky and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's gonna get wild, it's gonna get wacky, it might even get a little zany. We're gonna talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about!
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for your right honorable king, King Burky?
And the good king has decided to come to the southernmost parts of Babblot. I normally do not associate with the lowly of low, but every now and then, when I want to examine my kingdom for charity's sake, I do like the thought of charity. I will visit the good badger I have found in the southernmost part of the kingdom.
Yes, eating stale bread on a doorway. It was quite a surprise he found me. I didn't know how he found me, but, you know.
In Epinay, France.
Of all places.
Of all places.
Oh, dear.
Dear. The birthplace of champagne.
Ooh, so guess what we're drinking tonight?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Vulcan's blood and Andorian brandy.
Cheers.
Maybe it's just syrup water.
Hello and welcome to the show. And for the very first time, a live show with both of us in the same room.
Live show, live sound effects. We're going to a whole nother level, baby.
Yes. And all this was thanks and grace to a game topper.
Game toppers.
Okay, sorry, there's an S on the end. A game toppers.
Game toppers.
It's game toppers.
Yes, we have come to hopper your topper.
We've hoppered our topper. And what's going to be happening in this show? Well, it's going to be a bit different because we're face to face.
We're face to face. For some reason, we are not talking over one another.
No.
There must not be the delay.
It must be not the double. The double.
The doublet.
The double.
Yeah, whatever it is.
So what's he written down on his piece of paper? Well, we're going to start with our normal stuff. What have we been up to?
What have we been up to?
Before going into things that make us go, hum, 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 we're going to do a little good, bad, and the ugly. And then we're going to finish with a babble. This is going to be hopefully a shorter version of the show because we need to go back into the other room and finish our bottles.
Bottles with our wives. Our wives are here.
Yes.
And they are waiting anxiously for us to go and play a game.
Yes.
Which game will it be? The world will never know.
No.
You notice too, I'm sporting my Red Raven t-shirt. Oh yeah.
And you like Red Raven games, yeah?
I love Red. Ryan Lockett, he's a genius. We were at Gen Con. Ryan actually gave me this t-shirt, and it's that soft fabric that I like so much better. You know, not the hard crunchy fabric. This is the lowly crunchy fabric. Yeah, this is the soft stretchy kind of fabric,
this doesn't iron very well.
I prefer. No, and it's logoed well.
Yeah, not that I like.
Yeah,
that feel much.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it, but I wouldn't want to wear it. No. Anyway, my favorite shirt, of course. So, of course, we're in Epernay, France. Just got back from the Essen Spiel 2018 in Essen, Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, it's good.
It is very good. So we were actually having...
Wunderbar. It's wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
It's wunderbar.
It was very wunderbar. It was wunderbar. Essen Spiel. Gesundheit, Dummkopf. Something like that.
Asphalt.
We took many asphalts.
We passed many asphalts.
We passed many asphalts. That's an exit for you. And it makes sense. Exit.
Yeah.
So asphalt.
Yes.
And I like saying it over and over again. He likes saying it more, but...
No. So, yeah, this show's going to probably go very off the rails.
Yeah, we said an hour, and I bet it's going to go an hour and 15. I bet we're going to have some people join us in the chat, because here in France, it's like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So back home, it's about 1 o'clock.
Or maybe 2 o'clock, or maybe 3 o'clock.
Depending on when you turn this on.
Yeah.
It would be that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Well, I had the opportunity, actually, of going to Essen, Germany with my lovely wife, Joan, and we were able to bring a pallet of game toppers with AEG, Alderatic Entertainment Group, which was just such a joy working with John Zinzer and Nicholas and the whole team there. They were able to demo some game toppers in the booth, so Game Toppers had a presence. And Stormforged Games also was doing Dark Skies, or Dark Souls, excuse me, Dark Skies, Dark Souls, whichever. Anyway, they were also demoing they were demoing their games on Game Toppers, and we had a couple here for my good friend Sir Barry of Doublet is now gracing his studio with a luxuriant, wonderful game topper with a game topper bag.
Yes, very kind of you. Very generous gift.
Gypped.
I've only had one drink.
Gypped works.
One
You
drink.
got gypped.
Oh, you got gypped.
Yeah.
He's had one drink as well. So,
Just
yeah. Yes. To the king!
oh, to the king, Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. I'm gonna have to edit
People
this
will
one.
think there's some stuff in there, which it's just sugar water,
It's
right?
just sugar water.
It's just sugar water.
It's sugar water.
Yeah, but you never know what you put in stuff over here.
No, no.
Well, it's just been such a fun time going to the Essen for the first time, and had such a great time working with those guys at AEG. They were demoing the game Scorpius Freighter, designed by David Short. And just fantastic game. They were demoing War Chest, which was a big hit, and they sold out on it.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah, quit vibrating the table.
Yeah,
Put the cameras on the table.
It just feels so natural and comfortable.
Okay, fine.
But maybe
it's so nice.
It
right?
is so nice.
So anyway, that was a fantastic time. Also, the main reason that I actually went to Essen, Germany, was to find out how can we bring game toppers to all of Europe. So I had tons of meetings with different distributors, different people who could connect me with people who could do fulfillment of large boxes. The buzz over Game Toppers at Europe was just fantastic. I met several fans of Game Toppers saying, when can I get these here? So that was super exciting, and we've got really great news, a lot of fantastic leads on how to do that. So when we do our next Kickstarter, we're coming to Europe, baby.
Oh yeah, and that will be pleasing for everybody. I mean, we played a couple of games the other day on the table.
Yeah.
But so far it's been an enjoyable experience. It's covered over the crappy plastic white table that I have. We shall see. I am looking forward to playing a bit more and getting used to not walking into these implements which are sticking out of the side, because I don't have it. I'm not used to it yet. Just click it into place. I'm not used to it yet. It's just like I'm gonna forget. It's going to be one of those things. Will it break, though? I can do like a crash test dummy test on it with stupid people that forget that they've got a game topper. And
Well, I don't want you to crash into it.
I don't, because I don't like the actual
and I don't
height.
want that yellow cross sign thing on your
Yeah,
forehead.
because the height is, as you can see, about that high. Yes. But we don't want to do any damage there, do we? No.
So Essen was fantastic, and you were there helping out Bombaix.
Yes. But I thought we were going to talk about this in the Babble subject.
Yeah,
but
we're going to talk about that too, but we're just talking about things that we're up to in,
So,
in Babblot, of course.
Okay, yes. On the outskirts of Babblot.
On the outskirts of Babblot, we went to a French grocery store.
Ooh, yes.
And we bought all kinds of stuff, and we don't know what it is. But we bought it.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Rick's in the chat. How you doing, brother?
How do we look? Do we look sexy together?
Put on my sexy face. Is that a sexy face?
That's a sexy face. So, yes, so 2018 has been the year for us. You have released your Game Toppers. We have met for the second time.
Gen Con,
and now Essen.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it?
I mean, we've been doing this podcast for 2.5 years.
4.5 months. Yes, 4.5 months we've been doing this podcast, and we've already produced 2 episodes.
62 episodes.
Yeah, this is 60.
It's actually, Barry thinks it's over 4 years, and it's not.
Can't wait to 4.
Because France is way slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years, whatever it is. 62 episodes. Who'd have thunk that?
Who'd have thunk that?
And then who'd have thunk that we'd get to see each other?
And who'd have thunk that we would thunking together?
I never thunk it.
You never thunk it?
No.
Not in my head.
And then when it happened, I didn't believe it was real, but it was real. And then now we're in Essen, Germany together, having our families here, having... there's something that they do here in France. It's called aperitif. And they do it a lot. Kabuki Kid's in the house!
She knows about aperitifs.
Do you know about aperitif, Kabuki Kid and Rick? You know, I didn't know about aperitif. You know,
Yeah.
we spend 6 hours preparing our meals, or 2 or 3 hours, whatever. But then we eat it in like a half an hour. Well, over here they aperitif first.
Yeah.
And aperitif is it has snacks, little things, cheeses, and can we say the word libations? Can you say libations, Barry?
I can say pair of teeth because Goofy's got a pair of teeth.
Big teeth, but
Yes.
a pair of teeth. No, not a pair of teeth.
Aperitif.
Aperitif.
Tiff.
Aperitif.
Tiff.
Ah, see. Ignorant as well, she says. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And so, ratafia, I just want to say, is
His new medicine.
excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
We met your father-in-law, Denis, and Francois.
In essence, yeah.
Francoise.
Yes. If it's Francois, it's a man.
Francoise.
Francois is a man.
Francois.
Yeah. So
No, Francoise and Denis.
He's on it.
Stop it. See, it's jiggling because of all the movement. We're very excited.
Yes.
And maybe we should take the double component tray off so we don't put our arms on
it. Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good idea.
done deal. All right,
Now
well,
I can touch your knee.
thank you. Thank you very much.
So,
So, from there, we are going... Kabuki Kid says, when I was in Spain, I remembered having a late-night supper after dinner, and that was unusual. Yeah, you know, they go for 3 hours. It's crazy.
yeah, in Spain, Italy, you start probably eating around 9 o'clock and go all the way to midnight, and then you have a final nightcap and you go to bed.
Yeah, Joan and I, we're ready for bed at 8 o'clock. You know, we're old folks, so that's the way that goes now. But
Yeah.
well, I think we might as well just move along to our segment, Things That Make You Go...
Board game news. Burky and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad, but there are all things that make us go,
So, things that have been making you go...
You know, we talked about this earlier. I
Yeah.
haven't thought of the one thing that's made me go, Well, actually, there is one thing that's made me go, For my
what
friend
was that?
Philip. You met Philip.
Philip, yeah.
Who actually picked the table up for me because I couldn't squeeze you and the table in the car.
I could have fit inside the box, but only one of me.
Yeah.
Normally you can fit 2 people in the box.
Yeah. But Philip who bring this back. He has a game called Ikan, which is being brought by modern players. And apparently this Essen was supposed to be the Essen that it was supposed to be released. And it was kind of upsetting because it didn't come out. This is the second year that it's been postponed, which is sad.
Yeah, very sad.
It's sad. You know, there's a game on a shelf that an author wants to get published, and so he can earn some money from it. But the company are holding it back because they're discovering other titles and going, well, actually, this one would probably sell better, or maybe the theme and the mechanisms of this we should put out now because this game is doing popular and has the same themes and mechanisms. And it's like, you know, this guy wants to get paid for all his work that he's done, the years that he spent demoing and, you know, being on the cusp of having a great family game for kids to play, and he knows that. He knows that.
Is it the company? Is the publisher the one that's holding it back, or is it actually the production company?
I think it's the publisher that's holding it back because they're putting other games in front of it because of maybe cost, or maybe because, as I said, it's either the thing which is going to be popular at that moment of time, or maybe because they're holding it back because there's other games which have come out like Ikan, and so they don't want it to be like, you know, the cinema experience when it was like not Independence Day, but you know, the Meteorite one. Deep Impact came out the same year as another Armageddon.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not this kind of clash of, you know, too many games of the same thing coming out at the same time. So, yeah, that made me go, I was very sad. I was very looking forward to bringing it home because this is a game that my daughter definitely wants, because it's a dungeon building game where, say, a child can build a dungeon, and the parent gets to look at the dungeon and memorize the routes, and then they have a screen put in front of it, so they don't know where they're going. But they have to memorize it, and then they have their hero, and they have a little quest to do. So it might be a quest of just going in and finding a sword, and then finding the dragon and killing the dragon by giving out directions. Oh, I'm going forward. And then the dungeon master says, yeah, that's all, okay, you can go forward. I'll go right. Oh, yeah, you can go right. Oh, I'll go forward again. No, you've hit a wall, lose a life point. A very simple kind of, you know, in the dark dungeon game where you have to memorize the dungeon. And it works. It works really well. Very simple for kids. And it can also go up to complicated kind of levels with adults as well. You can add more traps and things in the way, so there's a lot more things to... But yeah, that made me go...
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Sometimes it takes quite a while for these things to happen, too. And there's always a new fish to fry in this world, so to speak. Well, speaking of that...
Or another bottle to open.
Another bottle of ratafia. So, one thing that I did make me go, was going to Essen, I learned about a company called Blackfire Studios. And Blackfire is quite a large company that actually does distribution throughout Europe. I was introduced to them by another publisher, Gavin from Roxley Games, a friend of mine, and we were able to introduce myself to the management there and tell them about what we were doing. Well, what I just found out is that Asmodee is already in talks now to purchase Blackfire. Okay. Blackfire is quite a deal. After talking to them, I found out actually the scope of what Blackfire actually does. Excuse me. So anyway, Blackfire is being acquired by Asmodee, and again, there was a company called Estevium, and that is no more for the United Kingdom. And Asmodee continues to just move into this market of taking over distribution, taking over. There's some information if you're a retailer in the United States. I know a lot of retailers that are actually a little disappointed with the Asmodee distribution model in America. So how will that affect European distribution? I don't know. I don't know exactly the scope of what Blackfire is doing, but it definitely made me go, So Asmodee, they had a huge presence at Essen.
Yeah.
I heard a number, and I'm probably quoting it incorrectly, but I thought it was something like they took 18% of the Gen Con floor space. Possibly. Last year was all Asmodee. I mean, it very significant nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it's because they're just taking over so much in this hobby.
Yeah.
So it made me go,
Yeah, I didn't know it. Stevia. I didn't know that they'd gone.
Yep, that's my understanding.
Wow.
That's all under Asmodee now.
Oh, it's all under... So they're still going, but they're under Asmodee.
Yeah, but I don't think they're actually that company anymore.
So, okay, so they're...
From what I understand, so correct me if I'm wrong on that, but... Yeah, very interesting.
Okay.
Well, there's our things that make you go, So now we're going to do the good, the not so bad, and the ugly, after we hear from our sponsor, Arcane Wonders.
Okay. Good comeback.
Well, I'm a professional. Well, I'm a professional.
Oh, dear.
So Arcane Wonders, we do want to thank them. They are our sponsor and have been so for a couple years. They've got the great, the amazing title, The Sheriff, the Good Sheriff of Nottingham.
He's good.
A fantastic bluffing, interactive game if you like to interact with a lot of people. And another game that Arcane Wonders has brought, not the mustache one, is Spoils of War. This is Liar's Dice on steroids. Fantastic. You get some set collection, playing Liar's Dice. And of course you have Royals. It is good to be the king. Yes, of course.
You still look like as dashing as that, though.
I tell you what, that's a fantastic family game.
Yeah.
You have 3 periods where you're actually influencing nobles. There's just a slight amount of take that. We actually got to play the game Senshi together.
We did.
Which was really super fun. And he looks like he's going to get it. There it is, Senshi. You're collecting these different attributes and trying to get your stack higher than your opponent's stack, but you have to be really careful not to have the lowest stack, and so really neat. It plays up to 4 players. And of course, the Dice Tower Essential game line of Good Critters going to be released in the middle of November. This game is fantastic. Good Critters, the thing about this game, they've got these anamorphic characters. How do you say it?
I don't. Animated.
Nah, you know what it is. Anamorphic characters. Anyway, kind of cool. They're all mobs and you're influencing one another. Fantastic party game. We played this game out camping this summer with my family and we loved it and we played it again and again. It's just super fun game. And that's coming out this November, and that again is one of the Dice Tower Essentials. Onitama, which is a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's that.
And anyway, Critical Mass is another Dice Tower Essential that is a mech-on-mech battle game. I mean, they're just making fantastic games, so check out arcanewonders.com. And now we need to talk about the poll, though, before we go on, too.
Yeah.
We actually had a really cool BGG poll. We're going to show you the results. We had 91 people actually jump in on this thing. Did you miss it? Oh, there's Arcane Wonders logo. Beautiful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
there's the wrong one down.
Our last episode was called Publisher Wars, and we talked about the difficulty. Kabuki Kid says she still has the spoil of Burky's Shield, the promo card from Spoils Award. Thank you.
Yeah. So, in the last show we were talking about bugbears that we experienced in productions of board games. Because, there's nothing worse than getting a board game and there's something being wrong with it, and it's like, okay, I've just blown all this money and whatever. Should I do a screen share? Or should we just read it off?
No, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
You can do both?
Yeah.
See, this is how it looks behind the scenes, and now I'm behind the curtain.
Yeah, he's actually seeing all the...
And I want to ignore the man behind the curtain.
all the holy crap that I have to put up with.
Okay, so now they're seeing just this now.
Yeah, they're seeing this now.
So they're not seeing us.
They're not
so
seeing
we
us.
can give dirty looks to each other
we
and
can. Well, we can
roll our eyes.
We can open up this bottle of Rataffian under
the
table.
ratafia. Okay. Good. Very nice.
A real man's beer. So as you can see from the poll, the biggest selection of votes came from the game felt overpriced for what was in the box. This is actually one that I voted for as well, as you can see by the green tick next to it.
This was interesting though. Out of 91 people, we had 41% of the people saying that the rules didn't. No, that number doesn't add up.
No, that's the number of counts. So I voted twice. It wasn't a one vote thing. It was a multiple votes, and maybe
you could select more than one.
Yeah. So a majority of us, 67% of us, believe that the game would feel overpriced for what it was in the box, which is a bit of a disappointment with the production of a game. You want to get the customer wants to feel the value of what they're spending. You don't want to buy a $50,000 million car and find out that it's got no car radio in it.
Especially when you're, sometimes kicking out $69, $79, $89 for a game, and then you open it up and it's really just a box of cardboard.
Yeah.
And it might be a great game, but you open up and you just realize that, gosh, this feels like a $35, $40 game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really talking about value, I think, but that's a relative thing.
Yeah. Okay, so the second highest at 45% was that the rules didn't make sense because they were badly translated. Mm-hmm. Yes. Which is a problem that, sometimes I get. I'm reading the rules and it's like, I'm not quite sure about this one.
I don't have this problem much because I don't read the rules.
Yeah, he doesn't read rules.
No. Josiah complains about this quite a bit, however.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the rule reader
he reads the rules
of the household.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have 41% that said the rules didn't make sense. Full stop. And that's without translation. Yeah. Yes, I read one the other day. I was teaching at Essen a game. It was an Oink game. And there was a line that just totally threw me, and I read it 5-6 times, and it still totally threw me.
Couldn't get it.
No, couldn't get it.
This one surprised me too. The amount of components missing or damaged components. They were like 36% and 30%. And I just got a Kickstarter in. This was like a $250 thing I was waiting for a long time. I actually upped my pledge. Finally get it. Pretty deep rule set. Josiah read it all.
Yeah.
And we're ready to play. Finally have a night to play a game. And what happens? All of the $1 minions, all those chips aren't in the box. And then I contact customer service and we'll get back to you in 5 to 7 days. Then they get back to me after 5 to 7 days and say we're running behind on getting replacements.
Yeah.
You spend that kind of money and you have that kind of experience, and it's like I thought, well, I'm pretty patient about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So especially being a manufacturer, things happen, so I have compassion and empathy for that. But I was surprised that number was that high of people having failures in their components.
Yes, but there's also 38% people that were unhappy because the game was not available in their country.
Yeah,
and that there was no distribution of that game, and maybe no translation of that game.
Yeah, that's interesting too. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in our Babble topic.
Yeah, and there was some others. There was a 2% that said other, and this is one that I was really intrigued by. It's a guy called or a lady. Sorry, you can't tell with Board Game Geek if it's a boy or a girl, but it's Taiyin Sa, who said that their pet peeve is basically the clarification of the game. Some games that they feel are not well played and play tested beforehand. Oh yeah, yes. Sorry. And so the game is kind of broken, and that's their biggest bugbear with the game, as well as like bad translations. And I can kind of relate to that. It's really annoying when you play a game and you think it's this, and all of a sudden the rules are not exactly working properly, or that it's broken. I mean, how many people complained about, was it the thing of Snow by Martin Wallace, and it was broken because of one card. It was overpowering. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining in on the polls. That really helps just to get, I know it's a small sample size, but I think it's really some interesting things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And really great to have you guys interact with us. So thank you for joining in on that poll. And we will come up with another poll on the BGG Guild 2248. Probably something about, some of your most anticipated games, or what have you seen on the hotness list of BGG that surprised you. We'll come up with a really cool poll about Essen and about this what we're talking about.
Yeah, and whether I should grow a beard or not.
Whether you should grow a beard.
Yeah.
Grow a beard.
Grow a beard.
Yeah, grow a beard for your head.
Yeah, I know, but why is my head reflecting more than yours?
It's the kingly complexion and the wonderful salves that I have enjoyed. The good, the not so bad, and the ugly.
I really want to get my guitar down.
I don't know how to deal with this dead air. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to carry on a conversation. Philip Millman's in the house. Speaking of ugly, I'm here.
Ready?
Oh, that wasn't nice. Philip's a lovely man.
I haven't played it for a long time. Really.
Very nice there, Barry.
There we go. See, we don't need the CD player. I could just do it there.
We don't need it. We're done with drops.
Yeah, we're done with drops.
Everything's going to be live and... I don't know. Let's go back to the drops.
We don't need any education.
Vamp. All right.
Okay.
The good, the not so bad and ugly. What games have you been playing? Do you want me to go first?
You can do, because I haven't played many games over Essen because I've been working my behind off teaching Imaginarium. I could do. Yeah, I have played 2 new games. So yeah, you go first because you got 3 there.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah. I'm going to talk about a game. We both know what it is, so normally we do the guessing game thing. Yeah. He already knows, but I'm going to do it for you so that you guys can try to guess what I played. This is a game that has a worker placement element. Incredibly thematic. This game was on my #1 wish list to pick up at Essen. We might talk about it a little bit later. Mm-hmm. It has something to do with a forest and some very happy men. Could it be the Sheriff of Nottingham? No!
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Similar.
Very,
no, it's not
similar even. Worker placement. Actually, quite a lot going on in this game. There's a lot of different card play that you use to activate your areas. You also you can set up traps. You can watch the guards. I'm supposed to be looking.
Okay. Hey. Philip, it's not Root.
No.
Philip, it's not Everdell.
It's not Everdell.
Kabuki, it is...
Kabuki Kid has got it right. It's Robin Hood and his merry men. Look at the glare in the
Yeah, that's worse than my head.
That's a little better. Wow.
Hello, Paul. You got one of these? Does it feel nice?
Pretty cool.
So, Robin Hood, tell us about Robin Hood.
Trying to get the glare off it so people can see what it is. Well, I just got to say, I was really excited about this because I love the theme of Robin Hood, but we've had a lot of stuff that has the sheriff as the focal point. This is actually the Robin Hood and the merry men robbing from the rich. It's just thick with theme. You've got these different villages and these roads that come into the village, and you have money that's on these roads. And this represents a light semi-cooperative. Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it.
Paul wants another one.
Of course he does. So it has a semi-co-op, and when I first heard the word semi-co-op, I went, oh, I'm not a big fan of co-ops, and there's some co-ops I like. I like co-ops that have a hidden trader element and that kind of thing, and then I thought, okay, what does that mean? We're all trying to win, but basically what's happening is we're robbing from the rich, and if Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham, they take over too many things, they're going to take that money from those roads, and if that money runs out, we all lose. However, we all have the opportunity to get more resources, do all this cool stuff, set traps, take out some of the guards. We get to there's a push your luck element with the archery studio, which are the archery arena. Super fun. I just played through a basic demo unit, but even at that point, I just went, wow, this is very interesting. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think I think about Robin Hood and the Merry Men? There's a lot of chatting going on up there.
Yeah.
I'm never serious.
Well, I think that you think it was good.
I actually thought it was really good. I want to play it right away. I'm really excited to get home and play it with 4 players and really get into it. It seems like there's a lot more going on. If your guy gets captured, they go to prison, and then one of the other people can help you get out of prison, and they get a little reward for helping you do that. And so there's an incentive, and that's why it's a light, semi-cooperative game. And I think that's it's a positive description versus the initial negative that I had. So super excited about that. It's being produced by Final Frontier Games, and Martin Poole is one of the designers of the game. I actually got to meet him at Essen and talk to him. Just had a lovely time. Anyway, this is the Kickstarter version, and this thing is like 80 pounds. I mean, it's like crazy heavy. I'm going to have to get just a piece of luggage for this game.
Wow, yeah.
But no, super fun.
I'm not carrying it on your plane for you, no.
No. Okay.
No.
You can fly it over for me.
I'm going to fly
but your arms will get tired. All right, so what have you been playing?
I'll have to lose weight first, and then I can maybe slip them into my trousers.
You'll be like one of those fat dragons. How to Train Your Dragon. You had the thin, fast, sleek ones. Paul Grogan, he's like the fast, sleek one. The black side, whatever. Toothless. Yeah, he's like toothless.
Sorry, I had to think there. Croque-mousse in French.
Yeah, but we're kind of like the bolstering ones.
Yeah, with the bolstering ones. Yeah. Okay.
We could be like a two-headed dragon if we put our shoulders
together. We could
be.
Is it Crash and Spit or Vomit and Bob?
Yeah. You do the spit. I'll do the flames.
Yeah.
And you do the ice.
I'll do the mouthwash.
Yeah, and then I'll light it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So Philip wants to know if any of us are going to BGD.
Yep, going to BGJ, brother.
Not me. Sorry.
Is going early. We're going to have a full booth there with Ben from Daedalus Productions. Have a full 20-foot booth, and we are going to have 20 toppers there for special sale with BGG, and it's going to save everybody a bunch of money on shipping. So if you're at BGG and you can handle carrying a topper in your vehicle, it's going to be a good deal for you.
That's a slight dig, wasn't it?
He has very small vehicles over here. These are not Prius friendly.
No.
Or Renault friendly.
Renault friendly.
No.
Renault.
Yes, or a Palo.
Palo. You've been thinking about food, because like every word you say is almost like food related.
Well, we have been lots of aperitifing.
Yes, we've been aperitifing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So what have I been playing? Some good stuff. Or some bad stuff. Or maybe some ugly stuff.
All right.
Okay, I played a game which is actually a sequel to another game. Let's see those fingers. We got no keyboard here, so we can't type and answer questions, unfortunately. Yeah. But,
we can barely see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I've been playing a game which is a sequel, and it's what happens after the first game. You're basically, you've collected treasure from the first game, and now you're trying to get it onto boats and get away from wherever you're trying to get away from. The game is a very simple card game where you have numbers from... Let me think. It's not one. No, it's from 3 to 99. I had to think about that one. It's 3 to 99, and you'll be dealt out several cards, and on your turn you'll play one card into a boat, and each boat has a number from 3 to 9. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But that number is divisible by the number on the boat. So you may have 45, and so you could play 45 on the 5 boat. Or you can play 45 on another boat, the 3 boat. I think 45 is divided by 3. But anywho, and that's the object of the game, is to get rid of all your cards before the other players. But the only thing is, each round, only 3 boats can be loaded up. So when one player loads up, we played a 3-player game, so it was 3 boats. So once you play a card onto a boat, other players can play cards on that boat or start a new boat. And that is basically the game. You're trying to get rid of your cards by putting them out on boats with the cards, with your numbers, which are divisible by those numbers. It's a very mathy game. So what do you think it is?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Oh yeah, you don't?
I don't think so.
It's over there. Would you be able to get it? That box on the top there. The small one.
Oh, I do know what it is.
You do know what it is. No guesses in the chat?
All I can say is oink, oink. Oink.
Yes.
That's a good clue.
That's a good clue.
Oink.
We should do this more often.
All right. It looks like nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
This is a game from Oink Games.
It's called Flotsam Fight, which is the sequel to Deep Sea Adventure. So you play Deep Sea Adventure and then you play this. Yes, played this a couple of times in our room. It is just a math game. It feels like a normal kind of card game where you're not kind of pressing your luck by playing cards in. And again, they've got to be in order. That's the other thing. So like the mind or the game, if someone plays like a 3 on the 3 boat, the next card has to be a higher. And obviously the next highest card is a 6. But another player could just play the 90. And then all that's left is the 93, the 96 and the 99 that can go on top of that. So it's a push your luck, but at the same time you're trying to get out your smaller cards
First.
Because at the end, if you've still got cards left, if you've got the highest card, you take negative point. Whereas if you've got the least highest card, you get just 1 point. But if you're out, you get 2 points. And you play for 3 rounds, and the player with the most points after 3 rounds is the winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw another game that they had that came out too. There was a little gold game where you collect gold from your opponents, and then whoever has the most gold, somebody can decide whether they think they have the most gold, and then they get a portion of that gold. And it's the same thing. These really small little footprint,
games.
Quick to play, throw them in your car type of games. It's from Oink Games.
Yeah.
They're out of Japan. And they had quite a booth, actually, at Essen.
They did.
It was really
they were
beautiful.
just opposite us, so they had a game called Tomato or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and they were just like blocking everyone from seeing our booth.
So you say this is... I would say you say this is good.
I like it. At first it was a bit confusing because the rules... This is one of those games with the rules are not very well written. There's a few little grammatical errors, but there was one line which is very important, which I had to scratch my head because I was playing with French people and their understanding of English is okay. But I had to scratch my head a few times, and it was a good game. It felt like a classic traditional card game. It felt like a game that I used to play with a normal deck of cards with the family called Sevens, where you'd start with the 7 of diamonds in the middle of the table. The whole deck would be built out. And then on your turn, you have to play a card. So you can play an 8 of diamonds or the 6 of diamonds. Or you can play another 7. So it felt familiar, but it had this nice twist of it is maths, and you had to do it all in the numbers that were divisible by that number. So, so that's Flotsam Fight. Flotsam Fight.
From Oink Games. Yeah, it's nice to have some of these quick little games that you can travel with. Because I saw Aldi from BGG just posted something on Facebook about his new game. You have to go look at it, but that's kind of cool because you always want to have that little game in your pocket, or your backpack.
Yeah.
Well, I played another game here actually with my good friend Barry, and it includes kings and asses, or kings and assassins. I mean, not kings, kings and assassins.
But you've just told them what the game is.
Yes, that's the game. Okay, can we reboot? We just
let's stop the podcast. We're going to swap over to another channel now.
They've already tuned out.
Yeah, right.
No, okay. So this game is called Kings and Assassins. Kings and Assassins. You can tell we're having a good time. Kings and Assassins. Basically, what you're doing is you've got 2 sides. This is 2-player game, and you're moving your assassins are trying to get the king. And the king is mostly hated, and I don't understand this.
No.
Yes, you could probably explain it better.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, you want me to explain the game?
No.
Okay.
The assassins are trying to catch the king. The king is trying to catch the cat. The cat's trying to catch the dog.
How many people did I meet at St. Ives?
I don't know. Yeah, Philip is already like...
He's gone to sleep.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough. Well,
shooting out.
Yeah, well, what's new?
Yeah.
So, you can take your soldiers to kind of protect the king, and then all of these assassins are trying to come and get the king. But there's all these different standees. They actually had a deluxe version at Essen, but these standees are all different types of characters from the village. But only 3 of them are actually the assassins, and you don't know who they are. So you can reveal one of the assassins, and then he can kill a soldier, but then all of a sudden you know which one is the assassin. So you're strategically moving your men. The king is trying to get out of the entrance with his troops. The troops actually have an opportunity to push like the villagers away from the steps. You draw these cards that tell you how many movement you have. The king's soldiers can handcuff and imprison somebody that's next to them, which that throws them out of the game, eliminating the possibility of them trying to capture the king. It plays pretty quickly. It's a 2-player game. Plays basically within 30 minutes.
Less than that.
Less than that. It had a real, I don't know, a very strategic feel to it, but almost like a stratego, where are the bombs, where's the flag, that kind of thing. Except it's better than that. But
yeah, it's very thematic, isn't it?
it's very thematic, yeah. Really fun. Great production value. So what do you think I think about that?
I think you love it, because we were talking afterwards about you buying the
deluxe.
the collector's edition with the minis.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Just loved it. Had a great time. Maybe it's just the ambiance of being here in France and playing games with my good friend, but...
Oh, yeah, I had Sirenscape in the background as well, so it was like a marketplace, and there was a lootist walking by, and...
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, so we were in the marketplace.
So that's Kings and Assassins made by...
Gattaca, or if you're in France, Rune Editions.
Rune Editions in France or Gattaca. So that's that.
Okay.
Do you have one more? And we'll finish with that.
Okay, if you want to. Okay, fine. Okay, last one. It was a game that I was actually demoing. It's a card game. And in the card game, penguins are trying to take over the world. And so you will have a handful of cards which you're going to be playing. And you'll be... It's a kind of counter-balanced game where you'll be playing you'll be giving away 2 cards to your opponents on your left and your right. And they'll be giving you one, of course. And then what you'll be doing is you'll be playing one card into the middle. This is the card which is going to take you dominance. You reveal it all at the same time, and whatever the value in the colour is, it determines where you have dominance. Nobody's guessed the game yet. It's not Lord of the Rings, because it's got penguins. Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, you're talking about the other game. You're talking about Kings and Assassins.
Yeah.
Stratego-ish game. So, yeah. So, you're going to be playing a card, and then you'll be drawing 2 cards, and then you're going to be dishing out 2 cards to your players on the right and left, and then you're going to be taking their cards as well, and then you'll be playing 1 card again into whatever of the 5 locations that there is. At the end of the game, once all the cards are gone, you're going to look at who has dominance in each of the realms. So if you're in the Antarctic and you have a value higher than everybody else, all the Antarctic cards in your hand are going to score for you. Whereas if you don't have the highest, the lowest Antarctic card in your hand will score for you. If you don't have any Antarctic cards in your hand, you've missed out. So you're going to do this for each of the 5 rounds, and the player at the end is going to be the winner. It's a very, very thinky, kiddie-looking card game. And it's from Matago. And it's
from Matago.
Designed by Bruno Catala.
Oh, Bruno.
Does anybody know?
I saw it on the table. Now I can't remember the name of it.
So, drum roll. 5, 4, 3, 2, stop kabuki, 1.
Don't know the penguin game.
You don't know the penguin game. It's either called Zany Penguin or Penguin Invasion. Because we had the German and the English version and the French version. But those were the ones that... I think it's called Zany Penguin in English.
Okay.
Okay, by Bruno Catala. Small tin box, cards. Looks like a kid's game. A kid's game. It is a real kind of brain burner game. Because you'll have all these cards and you're like, well, which cards should I give away? And which cards should I keep? And then it's like, which cards should I use to try and gain control over a domain by their value? And which cards should I keep because they're going to score me at the end of the game. A very, 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 very kind of deep, complex, a very quick playing game. You can play it in about 10 minutes. Because you start with a deck of 18 cards. You're always drawing 2 cards. As I said, dishing out 2, collecting 2, and then playing one. But, what do you think?
So what do you think? Well, you're demoing for Matagos, so... you were for Bombay. So
Bombay. Yeah, not Badago, sorry.
Because this was on the Bombay stand. Yeah. I think you probably think it's good. I don't know if you really like that kind of heavier, thinky...
I don't know. It's okay. If comparing it with the Flotsam Fight, I prefer playing that. That just had something about it. It was thinky, but at the same time, it was enjoyable.
We should play that with the wives tonight.
Yeah, we could do. But, the Zany Penguins is okay. I don't think it's going to please everyone. As I said, I'm playing it and demoing it at the same time, so I'm not really playing it. Because again, I'm like looking out the corner of my eye, seeing if there's another table which needs help with a question or something. So it wasn't really 100% of the game, but I think it was not so bad. Not so bad.
Not so bad.
There's cute artwork. There's some special powers included because when you got cards like a 1, 2, and 3, they're very weak. So they have powers on them, so you can look at other players' cards, or you can kill 7, 8, and 9 penguins when they arrive on the table. So yeah, it's quite an enjoyable game. But I'd have to play it a few more times before I'd say, yeah, it's good. It's definitely a very interesting concept of, as I said, deciding where your cards are going to go, what cards you're going to play, and what cards you're going to keep to try and score. Zany Penguins by...
Zany Penguins. Bombex.
Yeah, he read my mind. It's like he's like he's in the room with me. It's really incredible.
Well, that's what I do. Well, there you have it. The good, the not so bad, and the ugly. This is definitely going to be a little bit of an abbreviated version. We also want to make a shout out to our other sponsor, Academy Games. And Academy Games has just been so gracious again to sponsor and help us out with the show. Academy Games has just made some of the most fantastic educational games, but more than that, even though they are highly educational, the games are just fantastic, good games. They just recently did a Kickstarter with the game Tudors, and Tudors was all over. There were several different places that I saw it being set up by the international community where it's being distributed and so forth. This game looks fantastic. When you see the player shields with the 5 fingers on the, and you place these rings on the fingers that give you different abilities depending on the combination of rings that you have, it just looks fantastic. It has a fantastic worker placement mechanism that I really thought was neat too, on how the nobles move up the board. I kickstarted it myself personally. I'm excited to get it. Looks great. But again, Academy Games, they've got the whole Birth of America series. They've got they have the Vikings 878. They have Mare Nostrum, which is another fantastic game. Freedom, the Underground Railroad. I mean, it just goes 1775 and 1812, all those games. Fantastic stuff. Agents of Mayhem. There you go.
We can do sync now, can't we?
We don't even have to talk. We can probably just do it with minds. See, they got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that, thank you, Academy Games. Check them out at academygames.com. And with that, we're going to move on to the Babble.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We need to pause first.
We need to pause, yeah.
Now the music.
And now the music.
And now it's time for the
Babble, 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 Burky and Badger's board game babble.
Everybody! Babble, babble.
Babble, babble, babble. You hear it 50,000 times and all of a sudden you can't remember it.
I really feel like we need an accordion and a polka band.
Yes.
Polka, polka, polka. Shirmaleski fun time. Polka,
Right,
polka,
so
polka.
we've done an hour. We said we were going to do an hour show. And
Okay, we're done.
We're done. Bye.
Great. Okay.
Thanks, Philip. You babble away to yourself, mate.
Now we're going to talk and babble about Essen. We're going to talk about some of the things we experienced, some of the things that we purchased, give you a little bit of an idea. That's going to include some of the games that we did. And for me, first time to Europe.
Yeah.
Fantastic. My wife, Joan, I'm just so thrilled. She was able to actually come with me. Now, my wife works for Game Toppers. She's such a doer. You know, she's the kind of gal that she's always cleaning the house. She's always doing this, helping people out. She takes care of her elderly mother.
It's like, as soon as she's finished, she starts clearing the table. I'm like, whoa, that's my job.
Yeah, that's just what she does. She's just always caring for others and
then
doing things.
when the tumble dryer had finished, I was like, whoa, they're my pants you're touching.
Well, they weren't on him.
Yeah, she is hands-on.
And so, anyway, I knew that, this is not the place that you indoctrinate somebody into gaming as far as, Joni helps with sanding of the wood components, packaging of all of our accessories and things like that, and helps us with some of the shipping and things going to the post office and helps in those ways with Game Toppers. But Joan isn't a big gamer. She plays family games with the family. She loves Ticket to Ride. We played Ticket to Ride last night with your wife Aurora and your daughter Charlotte, and just had a lovely time playing. And so she enjoys games, but she isn't immersed in the hobby like we are. No. She doesn't want to get all the latest stuff. Yeah, it's more of a family thing for her. Yeah. So I knew that going in, and so one of the afternoons, and she knew it too. She goes, "No, honey, just go do your thing. I'm proud of you. Go get it. Go do what you got to do." And
night tonight.
Yeah. Come back tonight. We'll go out to eat.
Yeah.
And so I went at lunchtime, and in the middle of the Essen halls, there's 6 halls in Essen. Okay, I mean it's crazy. In America, we have these huge conventions, but they're primarily in one big place.
Yeah.
Gen Con has some of the upper floor rooms and things of that nature. BGG Con has some side rooms and so forth. But generally speaking, we have these big convention halls. Well, they're big demo halls for all the vendors. There's 6 of these halls. But in between, a couple of the main halls is called the Galleria. In the Galleria, it's this long, huge hall. They have kid games set up. They have all kinds of food trucks and stands, things like that. For 3 days in a row, I went to the bratwurst stand, and I got this big honking bratwurst, baby. Oh yeah, I mean, at the first day I had it, I went, I'm getting one every day, and that's just the way it is. They've got this, they've got this potato spiral thing on a stick. Did you get one of those?
No. I've had one of those before.
Oh,
they're nice.
That was fantastic. Joni got a pretzel, and so we went solely for the purpose to have lunch together at the show. And then I took her around and started to just kind of let her get a feel for her first convention, Essen. Well, it was Friday. It wasn't crazy busy,
no. But
not crazy busy does not mean wall-to-wall backpack. Anyway, what you're so crammed in there, you feel like a hot dog in a bun. I mean, it's crazy, right? There's so many people, and you can't turn around, especially people have their backpack and they're constantly hitting you. And I mean, it's this crazy crowd. I thought Gen Con was bad, but I got to tell you, Essen traffic is a little thick. Some of the halls are better than others, but Joni got to meet a lot of my friends in the industry. She got a chance to talk to Dan and Frank DiLorenzo from R&R Games, and these guys are awesome people, right? And Dan started talking to Joan and talking about different things, and he was just so friendly and welcoming into the hobby, just like we normally do. So anyway, I was able to bring my wife. We went out to several dinners. We went to the one place that was really fantastic called the Steakhouse. That was fantastic food. We sat next to a couple, 4 people that were from Switzerland. And we're sitting there eating. And as we're eating, we're starting to talk about a couple things. we kind of overhear each other. They're right next to us. Before you know it, we're all talking about games, and we're talking about game toppers. And the one guy was like, "Oh, I'd really like to have one of those. I didn't know they were. That was super fun." Just I don't know. There's something about this hobby that just brings people together.
I think it's the fact that everybody was together at Essen. It didn't matter which restaurant you go to. You were talking to someone or overhearing a conversation about a game that they played, or maybe there was a designer. Many times I was at the hotel, and it was like sitting over the table there was Bruno Cathala having dinner, and over there was Stephen Bonacore, and then there was the BGG team, and it's like, well, we're all together. So it's like this big bubble of board game people, whether they're players or whether they're doing something in the industry, and they're all just talking about their day.
Well, and
getting drunk.
It was so it was so wonderful seeing so many people that I knew from the States that were designer friends of mine. Daryl Andrews, and he just had his game.
I missed him.
Oh, you missed Daryl?
I missed him.
Yeah, he was staying at the Atlantic Congress
as well.
Yeah. There's a hotel called the Atlantic Congress that is real near the center, and a lot of the people were staying there. So we went out to dinner with Seth Hyatt from Mayday Games, and the guys from Gamelin Games, Michael Coe and Nathan and Sam Aho, who's a reviewer. He was with us. And, we just had a fantastic time hanging out, and
Daniel Zayas,
he was there one night. You and I went out to dinner with Scott Morris. Talks. And we actually played that game, Guerrilla Marketing.
Yeah. Kind of word game, kind of like illustrations.
Kind of like telestrations, play on words.
Yeah.
Where you're all kind of getting this marketing theme, but you don't know it. You got to come up with this acronym, and you roll dice for the different letters. If you hit 2 stop signs, that's the amount of letters that you're using. So it could be 2, could be 5 letters, and you're coming up with funny, creative things, and you write them down, and everybody writes them down. We're playing with 8 people.
Or you're just thinking about the food that you want to eat.
Yeah.
Instead of.
But it was super fun. It was Adam. I'm forgetting Adam's last name. I know it. He designed Poetry Slam. Scott Morris just loves this game. He was just raving about it the whole time we played it.
But he was really rude.
We always knew if there was something seedy.
Yes.
It had to have been Scott. We would always say it's Scott's fault.
Yeah.
But it was really humorous, really a lot of fun. We got to play that that was at the Irish
Fitzpatrick,
the Irish pub. That was the night that we went to the Paul Grogan meetup for Gaming Rules Vids.
Yeah, so we met Paul, who's gone.
Paul, he's probably not here anymore.
No, he's gone. He's gone with his missus. I don't blame him. He needs some time with his wife.
Yeah. Well, Paul's such a great guy, and he had all of these people. There was 80 people crammed in there for Paul's get-together and his meetup, and he gave away a lot of different gifts and that kind of thing. So it was really a fun night. But like you say, we got to hang out with a lot of the people we did know, but we got to meet some new people.
Yeah, we did indeed. I got to meet Sam. I got to talk to Scott for the first time, because I've never spoken to Scott before. I spoke to a lot of people that I hadn't spoken to before. The more you go to a place, the more comfortable you feel, and I feel very comfortable at Essen now. It's like I go there and I can go up to someone and just say, "Hey, I know you. Well done. Thanks for your stuff." And that's... You
had a lot of people come up to you that recognized you.
Yeah. I've had a few designers come up to me and give me a game, and that's been good. And I've just had people. Well, I know lots of people at Essen anyway, so it's like like family. Some of them, in fact, some of them are family. Yes. So there's lots of kissing going on, even though you're sick as a dog. You've got this kind of, it's not Conquad, it's Essen Fessen. I don't know what you're going to call it.
Everybody's tired.
Everyone's tired. Everyone's got colds and nose running, and they're sucking throat sweets all day long. And then,
well, you had a grueling schedule. I mean, you're working at Essen, and you're demoing games for 8-9 hours straight.
Yeah. This year, I think, was a lot busier than last year, due to the fact that the school holiday was in flux. Not in flux, but it was actually going on. And so, like Thursday, it was jam-packed because there were kids and families. Friday, it was jam-packed. And normally, it's like the late afternoon that it becomes jam-packed because the school kicks out. And then Saturday, I thought was going to be a bit calmer, was even more jam-packed.
Saturday was crammed. I mean, you go to Hall 3, which was, I think, the biggest hall.
Yeah.
I mean, it was difficult to get through there. Once you got through there, though, I found that, you didn't seem like you had to wait that long if you wanted to try something.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried, the day that Joan came with, we actually played Ice Cool, that penguin flicking game, and we had been walking around, and my feet were kind of tired after that day, the day before, too, and just constantly running around, and we said, let's just sit down here, and it was there. I hadn't played that game yet, and that was a lot of fun, and we just got to sit down. We had another couple there that were from the one guy was from Indonesia, and the other gal was from I'm forgetting now. Anyway, they were from Berlin. She was from Berlin. They both live in Berlin now. And so anyway, we just had this wonderful time playing with them. And here again, people from all over the world playing a game together. And my wife said, how in the world can you play games in this? Because the hum,
the noise,
the buzz, everything going on, but we sat down, we start playing. Before you know it, you're just thinking about the game, and that
sound goes out.
Yeah, that axillary noise, it just all of a sudden just goes away.
Yeah.
And I said, that's kind of the way it is. And I didn't get to play a ton of games. I played a few. I mentioned that I played Robin Hood. I'll tell you a little bit more about some games that we purchased. But basically, I was there for the purpose of meeting business connections for Game Toppers, so that we could bring these awesome Game Toppers to the European market. And I ended up being very successful at that. I have several opportunities, so now I can work through the process of what's the best business relationship. And so that was really positive. And basically, mission accomplished. I still have some work to do while I'm here in France, but it's exciting to know that the hobby is bustling it is in Europe. I sometimes I will get a dozen emails in a week saying, why can't I have my topper in Switzerland? Why can't I have it in Germany? I want it in the UK. I want it in Poland.
Yeah.
And that just, it's amazing how many people came up to me and talked to me about that. And then some people that remembered me from Dice Tower days was the Sheriff of Nottingham, and a couple people that recognized us from Burky and Badger.
Even.
Yeah. Even. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? It was just so overwhelming. There were people that I wanted to talk to but couldn't talk to because I was busy with my head in the rule book, explaining the rules of a game. So apologies to you if I missed you. Apologies if I don't mention your name in this podcast. There were just so many great people. I met Ben Maddox. Yeah, Ben.
I saw Robin Lees.
Yeah, we saw Robin Lees. And sorry, Robin, by the time I was free to go and get your game, sold out, which is good for you. So maybe next printing I will grab a copy of that monster that came to eat my tea party game that you made. Yeah. So many people, so many stands. Busiest year I think ever. I think it's going to blow the numbers from last year, simply on the fact that it fell on a school holiday. I was non-stop at my table teaching Imaginarium, Abyss, Imaginarium, Catch the Moon, Imaginarium. The thing is, I enjoy it. I love making jokes. I love changing the story of the game. So sorry, Bruno, I didn't teach them the real story of the game. I taught them a different story.
Champagne dreams, Kabuki Kid.
And Robin Leach. Yes.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Oh, yummy. So, it was a great pleasure to work for Bombake's. Imaginarium, when I first played it, I was like, not bad, but the more I taught it and the more I played it myself, the more I enjoy it. It's a great mechanism of matching machines together, but you're all doing this by paying resources. It's a resource management game, and of course I definitely love the expansion for Abyss the Leviathan. It's so much more fun. That's what all expansions should do. lift a great game into a fantastic game, and Leviathan does that. So I'm very proud about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of games that sold out really quickly. That probably is a good segue of going into the BGG hotness. We can kind of talk about that a little bit. But there was several games there was one game that I went right away to go pick up, and it was gone. And that was the game that is designed by NKS or NSK Games, and it's Tutankhamun.
Okay, I know nothing about that.
Go and pull up the BGG hotness list. Let's just go and take a look and see what BGG says.
Shall I screen share it?
There it is, Tutankhamun.
Oh, that says Tutankhamun, does it?
Yeah, I think so. City, well, I'm probably saying it wrong. City of the Gods. This here is by NSKN Games, and I heard a lot of really great things about it. And this game, it was funny because the very last day, I'm sitting there demoing the game City of Gears from Grey Fox Games, designed by Chris Leader. And I'm playing the demo, and here comes old Alex Goldsmith with a copy of Teotihuacan, City of Gods, whatever you call it. Okay, here he's got a copy. I said, how'd you get a copy? He said, oh, we made a trade a while ago, and so they held it for me. Yeah! Khan! Anyway, Tutankhamun. No.
Tutankhamun.
You horribly... Yeah, thanks, Philip.
Teotihuacan.
It's not King Tut. It's not Tutankhamun. Yeah.
Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan.
That's going to be a game that everybody's going to remember.
Teotihuacan.
Come on.
Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Okay, Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Pretty good, Philip?
Yeah. Takenoko. Easy.
Philip
Takedo.
hates me. He just hates me.
I know. He wants you to hand over your royal throne to him so he can be coronated.
He wants to take over the throne. I know. He has always been doing that. Behind the scenes. With John. Sir John.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so what are some of the other hotness lists? Are we going from top to bottom here?
Yeah, that's top to bottom. That's
okay, so number one was that. Number two, now I saw this plate. I really wanted...
This isn't the hotness list. This is the list of what they voted for.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, the hotness list is there.
No. We want what they voted.
All right, before the show. This is what they voted at the show.
Oh, at the show. What were we just watching?
That was the the Essen Spiel preview.
Oh, the preview.
So that's number 2. Teotihuacan, City of Gods.
Okay, and then Azul, Stained Glass of Sintra.
Yes, that was number 1.
Yeah, people really love that. I saw that sold out, I believe, too.
Yeah, the last day at the restaurant that we were eating in, there was a couple behind us playing it, and it was like, okay,
Coimbra.
Yeah.
That's getting a lot of buzz. Everdale. A lot of buzz. Chronicles of Crime from Lucky Duck.
Yeah.
I meet Vincent, and Vincent comes over and he grabs me and he says, "Did you bring me any extra toppers?" and he's French, and I said no. If I could have, I would have, but it cost me a ton of money just to get this one. And he says, "I want to give you my money. I want 5 of these toppers." He goes. I said, "Okay, I'll get you covered."
Well, Vincent, you know where one is. Come and visit me, and then we can talk about more music for the Chronicles of Crime.
There you go. Well, it's fantastic. And then Blackout, Hong Kong.
I know nothing about that.
There was Gùgōng.
Gùgōng. I've got a good fun story about this.
All right.
When I was at Perioludic.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it. No, I was at Perioludic earlier this year.
Perioludic.
And this guy was playing at the other Kickstarter game, which I'd done, Netatanka. And he sees me and he recognises me. He goes, you're Barry the reporter. But he said it in French. Oh, Barry, that board game reviewer. Go to this booth and ask for a copy of this game and they'll make a video of it. But he spoke in French so fast, I didn't know what the booth name was and I didn't know what the game was. He's like, go Game Brews. And I understand what. So I asked him about 5 times, and he was like holding up the game, talking to me. And I didn't want to hold him up too long, so I sent the wife over to ask him what it was. And she didn't understand him either.
Okay.
So I could have had a proto copy of Gùgōng from Game Brewers to do a video review with, but because I didn't understand the French guy because he was so busy.
I tell you what, I have a hard time with accents, especially in a noisy room.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a little bit of high-frequency ear loss anyway.
Yeah.
And so when you get all this noise in the room, and then when you have an accent on top of it, I really have a hard time listening.
Yeah, you think they're saying this, and then, oh, yeah, my dog's dead as well. Oh, you weren't talking about your dead dog. You were talking about, sorry, you were talking about, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then just rounding up real quick, Newton number 8, Railroad Inc. Deep Blue Edition. This is a roll and write game I saw a lot of people playing.
That's the Horrible Games one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Horrible Games one?
I don't remember that, but he's.
It is. Yes, it's the Horrible Games one.
Horrible Games.
Really happy for them this year.
Yeah, they've been doing great stuff.
Yeah.
Dice Settlers. This was a big release. There was a ton of that going on. Architects of the West Kingdom. That's the Renegade Games.
Okay.
It looks beautiful. I so much wanted to demo it, but they kind of had little. You had to get in there. It was busy all the time.
Yeah.
7 Wonders Armada was another big booth. People were playing that, and Brass Birmingham.
Here's so much about this game.
Roxley Games is knocking it out of the park. I mean, they are doing some really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
They had Lancashire. They had Steampunk Rally.
That's that Ratafia repeating on you now, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
You're thirsty.
It's
you
all
want
the-
another one?
It's the aperitif.
It's the aperitif.
We need a little more.
Oh, game
All right.
toppers.
Oh, there we
Hey.
go. Maybe we need some more Ratafia.
Yeah.
Barrage. There was Underwater Cities.
Barrage is on Kickstarter, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. That was a huge booth. Shadows Amsterdam. Well, you guys can read these. These are the top 20. Couple games that did you have?
Did I have what? Another Ratafian bottle underneath the table?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Is there any of these that you had a comment about? Or?
Apart from I've seen Welcome To's come back onto Kickstarter.
Welcome to.
Yeah.
Fuji.
It's a write and roll one.
Detective was really
Popular.
very popular at Portal Games.
Yeah.
Railroad Inc. Reichholt. That was really very hard to get a demo of too. That's the new Uwe Rosenberg game. The River, that was sold out. The English version from Days of Wonder, that was sold out.
It's probably cheaper to get the German version though as well. That's the good thing about being there. My friend bought Istanbul, the dice game, but he bought the German version because it's €15.
Oh,
but it came with English rules.
Oh, really?
But he's French.
That was one game. Number 28 was Treasure Island, and that was at Madigo. So they didn't have any English versions left of that either.
Okay. So what games did you buy?
Well, of course, I bought Robin Hood. That was my most anticipated. We've talked about that already, so I won't go into that anymore. But I had a neat opportunity. I was walking around the one day after a business meeting at about 3 in the afternoon, and I see this table and I see this guy standing there, and I didn't know who it was, but it ended up being a very famous designer, and it was Martin Wallace. And I didn't know what he looked like. Okay, so there you go.
And he was sat behind you the night before at the restaurant while we were playing that Guerrilla, and you didn't.
Guerrilla Marketing, and I didn't know who it was. So
No.
yep, you can't fix stupid. So that's just the way it is. So, but we sat there and we talked about this game. This is the game Lincoln. And so you got to see Martin Wallace's signature there.
But how did he sign it? Because you still got the plastic on it.
Well,
Wow.
that's just to protect it, you know.
Oh right, you're trying to protect
Okay,
it.
yeah. So you can see this is Civil War. This is a
They can't see
two-player.
it. They can't see it.
They can't see it,
They
but
can't
that's
see it.
not who's watching.
Yeah, but that's who's listening.
Oh, I should let them listen. Here, listen to this. So on the bottom, you can see there, this is going from the north to the south. This is considered a deck deconstruction game.
Okay.
So you start out with a bigger hand, and then you're going to play your hand. You're going to put troops out there, and you're going to have different abilities. If you win so many as the North, you're going to get some advantages on the scoring track. If you lose too many, you can actually lose the game. Mm-hmm. And you have this limited amount of cards, but eventually you're running out of some of those best cards.
Okay.
And so, anyway, looked really awesome. I'm sure Josiah and I are going to love this. I really enjoy Martin Wallace's games. So that was Lincoln.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to go back and forth here, or do you want to?
I didn't buy anything.
Well, you got some games.
I've got some games, but I didn't buy anything.
Well, show us what you brought.
I don't want to. I want to surprise my fans. Wow.
Well, they're in a pile there.
Yeah, I got a pile. One of them is Fog of Love, which was given to me by John Perkis.
Fog of Love.
Of actual low. So thank you, John. It's very kind of you to think of me. I will probably love playing that with the wife. Obviously, I got Flotsam Fight. I received a copy of Fertility, which is from...
Fertility?
Yes, from my friend Cyril.
Cyril?
Yes.
He thought you were very fertile.
Yes. He knows that I love Sapiens, so he thought... and I do love it. I played it at Parialudic. We have Orbit Battle, which I know nothing about, but apparently it's like Luxor, but better. So I liked Luxor quite a bit.
Luxor was really good. Queen Games.
Yeah. Abracazam, I'm going to do a video of next week. And I've got Globe Twister, where I got to play against the designer while I was waiting for I was supposed to have an interview with someone else, and in the short time that I had free to walk around the halls of Essen, it was like, okay, while I'm waiting, I'll play this game here. Oh! And then I played it. I'll tell you about it later. That's what I forgot to do on the good and the bad, so I'll talk to you about that on the next show. I've also got Jurassic Snacks, which is another Bruno Cathala game.
Oh, really?
And then The Snitch, which is from Jumping Turtle.
I got a game that is one of my all-time favorite games. My family loves this, Concordia. They've got the new Venus expansion. They had a big double box that was really wide that actually had the base game, the Salsa expansion, and Venus all in one box. But I already have all the other ones, so I actually got that there. Super cool. Mm-hmm. And so I was super excited about that. My good friend Glenn Drover from Forbidden Games has a game called Raccoon Tycoon. This here actually is an economic and an auction bidding game, and it's got all these really cool little animals that are running their railroad tycoon type of thing. It's just super fun. The artwork looks awesome. I can't wait to play this game. I was super excited about it.
Yeah, it looks like it's got paper money in it.
It does have paper money, but the money actually looks pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of paper money, so I'll probably end up changing it with my coins.
Yeah, have some Japanese feudal coins or something. Yeah. Makes sense.
This is a game, and this is something that I think is really interesting, because when I saw this is from a company called Ruby Games, and it's called Leaders. Now, Leaders, when I first set up to look at the game, they had all this war
map pieces
design all around. They had had some helmets and sandbags, and it had kind of this motif in their booth. What's Kabuki saying there?
She wants Concordia Venus so bad.
It's awesome. Just looks great. But anyway, Ruby Games. So I talked to them. They're a German company, and basically, when I first grabbed this game, you can see on the back here what it looks like. They can't see. Oh yeah, here, look at this. All you this is for the hearing impaired.
Yeah, this is for the audio podcast.
No, this is for the blind people to see it right there.
This is for the podcast listeners at home.
It's written in Braille, by the way, too. So if you can't... Anyway.
I'll break this cut plastic on it, yeah.
So, you can see here, the map actually looks like Risk. And that's funny, because the first thing the guy says, do you like Risk? And I paused for a second, and I go,
It's a trap!
I said I used to like Risk. I mean, back in the day, we played Risk like crazy. And I played all the varieties of Risk, you know. Anyway, my favorite Risk of all time, by the way.
Go on. Risk Star Wars.
No.
Risk Jaws.
No.
Risk Babylon 5.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings Risk. Okay, so anyway, this here particular version, they actually have these apps. You have all these leaders, but all of the negotiation is done on these apps, and it's private between your opponents. And your headquarters is all managed on these apps. So you each have an iOS or Android. It works simultaneous, cross-platform, and the more he told me about it, I went, that is amazing. That's innovative. And we talked, and I thought, this is really something. We talked about some distribution things for the United States so we could get the product over here. But I'm really excited about this. This is Leaders from Ruby Games.
Doesn't work, I've got no connection. Just send you a message.
And so that was basically the games that we got at Essen. I think overall, you know, I don't like the crowds. You know,
No.
I'm country mouse, so the crowds drive me
But
nuts.
would you say the crowds were bigger than Gen Con and Origins?
yeah. Origins is one of my favorite fairs. Origins doesn't have this feel at all.
And the walkways are even bigger than Gen Con.
They are bigger. But you went from hall to hall. I mean, you never got to really walk. You had to stop and weave and stop. You couldn't actually walk.
The 5 Ds: duck, dodge, dive, dip, and duck.
Yeah, that's about right. You know, dork. And so, you know, that aside, I didn't like that. But on the other hand, wonderful, friendly people.
Yeah.
I felt very welcomed in Europe. I say now, Ignacy Chevicek is a good friend of mine from Portal Games.
Yeah.
But immediately he sees me and his face lights up and he says, "Welcome to Europe."
Yeah.
It was different than when I saw him in the States. Because it's like, hey, you've come to my
house.
Yeah, and it was just really neat.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of stuff. So that was really great. The food was fantastic.
Yeah.
The games are amazing.
Sorry, Gen Con, food's not good there. No.
Oh, no, that's not true. But the after Gen Con is always good. You got to get those shrimp, right?
I got to get to the right restaurant, that's the thing.
He couldn't handle the horseradish.
I handled the horseradish.
You didn't handle it.
I handled the horse, but I wanted to taste shrimp. I didn't taste shrimp.
It's about the horseradish.
It's not about the horseradish.
The shrimp are like little cats.
Might as well put like a jar of mustard on your steak. You know, and I'm talking about a jar of mustard. You know, like French mustard. Yeah.
So anyway, along with that, there was a little bit of Essen drama last year. You know, we had a lot of drama at Gen Con with a couple different things. But at Essen, there was some problem with theft again.
Yeah.
There's been some robberies, and several publishers lost their cash boxes, different things. One person lost a whole till. And then last night I saw someone post that I didn't know who they were, but they said they lost 10,000 euros, their entire sale. They're just a really small publisher.
Yeah.
Everything they brought there, they ended up losing. And so it appears that Essen really has to step up its security game, especially on the teardown. Oh, it was Justin from CGE.
Okay.
He had his van out in the middle galleria where they drive the van in to go tear down the kit and bring stuff to it. And he had his backpack in the van, and it was behind the seat. And while he was out, somebody went in the van and took his backpack, his computer. He lost all his files, all of his cards. He was able to call them and get them canceled, but here he's lost all of his contacts. He's lost everything. Just so frustrating to see that people are doing that here. I don't hear about that much at Gen Con.
No.
But they, Gen Con is really harsh too, though, with their security, so maybe it's a good thing.
But maybe it's because there's not enough people at Gen Con. And there's more people at Essen. And so it's easier to be distracted. There's so, as I said earlier, I'm trying to teach a game, and then see someone, and you just want to say hi, but you don't have a chance to because you are absorbed by the crowds and the amount of people that are there. It's astronomical.
I definitely felt like Essen was bigger.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of numbers floating out there about turnstile handling and how many unique tickets and all that, but in my opinion, it's definitely bigger in square footage. The booths are much more grandiose. I mean, these displays are quite the deal.
Yeah, like the Asmodee TV's Twitch stream.
Oh yeah, they had this huge
stage.
Twitch channel stage in the center and live stuff going on and more activities. I mean, it was really quite amazing. I really enjoyed it. I got to give a big shout out to John Zinzer and Nicholas from AEG. They were just so awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Melanie Dusner from Fulfillment Europe, which was able to get our palette of toppers. A couple that we had for Steamforged Games where they were demoing, Dark Souls I mentioned earlier. It was an opportunity for us to present game toppers in a limited fashion.
Yeah.
But that was also kind of my home for the weekend. I was able to go over to AG, and if I had to drop something off, and they were just so kind and gracious to help me with the logistics of that, and super appreciative for that.
Yeah.
And then the ability to bring some toppers to Barry and my good friend Paul Grogan. It was very heartwarming to be able to see that kind of thing happen. And now to be able to spend time with Barry here, this is also probably one of the highlights, probably more so than Essen, but that story is still unfolding.
Yeah, well, it's going to be finished by tomorrow when we go to Paris and we say goodbye.
We're going to Paris to say goodbye.
So, game toppers next year, do you think they're going to be prevalent in Essen?
I sure hope so. Based on the business meetings I had, the opportunities seem like it's going to be very reasonable for us to bring the product to Europe. I mean, it still costs a bit to transport things, but we're hoping that for under 200 euros, that we're going to be able to deliver a full-blown topper package to a European customer. So it shouldn't be a barrier to entry. And our toppers are starting at $3.99. We only have a very limited quantity currently.
Yeah.
Toppers are selling quite fast, actually. So if you want to still get a game topper, we still do have several SKUs, a bunch of the bundles that are available on our late pledge manager that you can still take advantage of the lower Kickstarter sale prices. And we're delivering within 2 and 3 days. So if you place your order, you're going to get it in just a couple days, or it's going to be pulled in a couple days, and then it's just the time it takes to ship to you. And so we're expecting we'll probably be all out of all of our inventory by Christmas.
Wow. And will we see the royal eminence of Burky at Essen next year?
I sure hope so. If we're able to bring toppers, we're going to have a presence here. And that's yet to be seen, but everything looks really good.
That's
so.
good. Then we'll make sure that the throne is ready for you next year.
We'll revisit the throne.
We'll revisit the throne, and we'll have 3 toilets in the house.
3 toilet.
Yes.
Toiletta.
A toilet.
Toiletta.
Okay.
I will close.
Yeah, okay.
Au revoir.
That's very good. That's very good, guys.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Arcane Wonders, and of course Academy Games, and this piece of paper here. Yeah, Game Toppers. You can find us on BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com or BoardGameTheatre.com. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher and Libsyn for the audio podcast Mixdown. I probably won't mix down much. It'll probably be pretty much exactly what's happened here because
I hope it's better.
I hope it's better. I don't know what sound effects you put on.
You're going to need a lot of sound effects.
We'll see how good the audio is.
Merci.
Yes. So
Merci Viva Plus.
Thank you everyone for commenting. Thank you everyone for voting on the poll.
Bonjour.
Look out for the next poll on the Board Game Geek.
S'il vous plaît.
Geek poll 2248.
C'était.
So this is me being serious and you being a tit. That makes a change. Should we go and have some rataffian, my sire?
Ratafia aperitif. It's time for aperitif. Some smelly cheese and bread.
Okay, and have I missed anything?
Nah, Board Game Geek Guild 2248. Check us out. Burky and Badger. Hey, thanks so much for putting up with our silly nonsense. It's we're just having a lot of fun together here. So with that, we're gonna send you out with "We're so glad you had this time to see us." Something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's good for them to see us.
Together,
Different song.
go. I don't feel long before we have another Burky show.
Okay.
Keep us in mind and get online. Burky and Badger will be back
In no time.
Thank you again for listening to Burky and Badger's Board Game Babble. This show was written, produced and performed by Kevin Burkhardt-Smyre and Barry Doublet, as was the music too, with a little help from the Balance of Power. Although the Good, the Bad and the Ugly theme was composed by Ennio Morricone, and background effects were supplied by Sirenscape. Enhance your gaming at sirenscape.com. Join us next time where we might have a special guest or we may review a game. But either way, there'll be more craziness and more babbling.
It's so beautiful, I can't help it.
You know how they reboot Kickstarters? I feel like we should reboot this show. All right, no music, a cappella.
Oh, I should have got a guitar down, shouldn't I, really?
Well, you got one behind you.
Yeah, but that's the kid's
It's a little
guitar.
one. Is it in tune?
Is it in tune? No. See, it's not in tune. No. So I have to, oh.
Not
well.
good. Not good. Sorry, Rick.
Oh, no.
Burky and Badger talk about the news, and they talk about the news and things that are happening, and ching 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 boom 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 chika choo. Okay,
Can't do it.
we're filming here, just so you know, and way over there is where all the buttons are to do the things that he makes nice and fun. So this isn't going to be any fun at all, but just bear with us.